appreciate you guys being here for the last regular season press conference. So appreciate everything you guys have done all year. I mean that sincerely. So obviously disappointed about Saturday. Really a case and a day of missed opportunities, chances to win the football game. A lot of credit to TCU. They made the plays when we didn't, but is that what I sound like? You know, I know our seniors were tremendously disappointed. I know our young guys were disappointed that they couldn't send those guys off with a win. Anytime I think you have 3 turnovers, I think the football statistics say you have about a 7% chance to win. The credit to our defense that they hung in there and gave us a chance to have the ball at the end of the game with a chance to go tie the game up. And, you know, those games, the last 3 games we played at McLean, we've had the ball at the end with a chance to go win it. We were able to do it twice. We weren't able to do it on Saturday. So I know our guys are disappointed they'll come over today, but at the end of the day, you know, we have one more opportunity this week to go play football together, one more opportunity to go try to be bowl eligible. And, you know, I look at it like a playoff game. It's, you know, there'll be Oklahoma will play West Virginia on Friday for the chance to go to the Big 12 championship game. Texas will play Kansas for that right. Ohio State will play Michigan. You know, and you know we not to the same extent, but we have a chance to play a meaningful football game in November. And last year the games in November were for pride and they were for, you know, the future. But this year we have a chance to play a meaningful game, and we've had 2 chances now to go win it. And we've played against good teams, but we've really beaten ourselves. And so it's time for us to I think to take the next step and go play against a really good Texas Tech team who's in the same situation, and go play playoff football, man. You know, win or go home is what it says on my phone. So it'll be good for our seniors to have a chance to have this opportunity to go out, you know, in a showcase type event, and it'll be really good for our young players because as we continue to grow and develop, we hope that the program is one in which every November we're playing games that matter, and so they better get used to it and get used to it now. So we'll have a good week of practice. Let the guys go home a little bit on Thanksgiving for a day, come back and head up and look to take on Texas Tech. So with that, I'll see what questions you have.
You talk about what's next all the time and with this team, the finality of senior day, the disappointment they had. How important is it for them to understand that, hey, you know, it was the last home game, but that is not the last game. You still have an opportunity here.
Yeah, you know, I think there's 2 components to it. I think our players are a pretty close football team. So, you know, we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We have 6 days. You know, we're in the middle, you know, probably even 5 days when you start, you know, say it's at 12 o'clock now. We have 5 days to be a team. You know, you wake up on Sunday and either you're handing your cleats in or you're trying to figure out what time meetings are on Monday, you know. So I think hopefully they want to make the most of these last days together. They've come a long way, but there's still so much further to go. And also it's an opportunity, man. I mean, like, you know, you have a chance to go play a game at AT&T Stadium and play against Texas Tech and extend your season and go to a bowl game. And so it didn't end the way they wanted it to last week, but maybe that just prepared us for this week. I don't know why things happen the way they do, but you know, we went to play Texas Tech last year. We turned the ball over in the red zone. We couldn't convert on 4th and goal. We gave up a kickoff return touchdown. We gave up a defensive touchdown. So a lot of the same things that happened on Saturday in terms of beating ourselves happened last year. So we'll see how much we've grown. We'll see what kind of job the coaches have done in terms of teaching them about what it takes to win these big games. And so the seniors get one more big game, and hopefully they can win that, and we can go out and play one more game together after that.
Coach, Texas Tech is a very different offense from what you've seen in the last couple of weeks. What do you see as the unique challenges with them?
Well, tempo. I mean, they're going to go fast. At least, you know, that's what it looks like they did against us early last year. They have 3 quarterbacks. You know, when Jet's out there, he's a dual threat quarterback. He can move. Tremendous screen game. Last year they really hurt us on the perimeter. And big physical offensive line. You know, they'll run some power football and get the ball downhill. You know, as great a quarterback coach and passing game guru as Coach Kingsbury is, they always run the football and are physical. So they'll threaten you in a multitude of ways. Quarterbacks call the game at the line of scrimmage, so whatever you're in, they're going to try to take advantage of it. And they have elite skill. You know, so it'll be a challenge for us in every regard.
Matt, they've had a bunch of QB injuries. Coach Kingsbury was saying this morning on the coaches call, he doesn't know who's going to start. How does that work out for y'all as far as trying to prepare?
I think really at the end of the day, when we watch them, we don't know who's going to play quarterback, but we know they're all. I think when you play against a Cliff Kingsbury team, they're all going to be good quarterbacks. So I think for us is trying to stop Vasher and Wesley. Wesley's one of the premier wideouts in the country. Those challenges will be the same no matter who the quarterback is, and so the quarterback run game might add a little bit when Duffy's out there, but we'll focus mainly on ourselves. We'll try to take away or at least concentrate on some of their core concepts. Again, the screen game really hurt us last year, as did a couple tricks, double moves off of it. So we'll just try to concentrate on us and see who plays quarterback for them.
With your own offense, obviously 9 points isn't where you want to be. Is there something you need to do this week to jumpstart them, give them a spark, or is it business as usual?
No, I think, we scored 14 points 2 weeks ago. We scored 9 points this past week, and you can point to a myriad of things. I know you guys were asking me questions about this, questions about that. I think it's a combination of, we cannot continue to turn the ball over and have penalties because those things just ruin any semblance of continuity. I think we have to run the football better. We had some runs early, and then on the drives where we kind of got the ball moving, running the football, we were able to put those away. And we had to be significantly better on third down than we were last week. And that really comes down to protecting Charlie. He got hit and banged and battered last week, and so it's probably you can't pinpoint any one thing. It just was not a very good performance this past week offensively, and it has to improve to have a chance this Saturday.
With the job that y'all were able to do against Hakeem Butler, does that give this defense confidence going up against the bigger guys like Vasher and Wesley?
Well, they're the type of players. I don't think you're ever just going to take them away. They're and because they're in four wide so much. You try to take this one away. There's another one over here. I think that our corners have gotten better as the year's gone on. Getting Harrison Hand back the last 2 weeks has helped. Riley Texada's really stepped up. Derek Thomas has been playing. Kalen Barnes. So I think our guys throughout the course of the year, Kalen Barnes was playing receiver in preseason camp. He didn't come here to be a DB, and he volunteered just to help us. And so I think as our guys are getting better week in and week out, now this will pose a tremendous challenge to us. But I don't think you can take any one of them away. I just think it's a matter of us trying to eliminate the big plays, rally up, and break on the plays in front of us. And defensively, we played better last week. We just haven't caused any turnovers. We're last in the country right now in terms of causing turnovers, and that's really to win a game. To be able to be not getting turnovers and still win a couple games is difficult. So if we can create some turnovers, Texas Tech, like us last week, had 3 turnovers against Kansas State. We had 3 turnovers against TCU, and we both lost. The game really comes down to that most of the time. And so we would like to see our defense maybe take the next step and tip a ball, knock a ball out, and see what happens.
One way you can obviously get a turnover is blocking a kick, and y'all have had success doing that. Just looking, even going back to Temple, y'all have had a lot of success. What do you kind of attribute that to, and how important is it to cash in on those opportunities?
Well, yeah, and to me, blocking punts has always for us been about the player. You find a guy that can do it. He's not going to turn his head. He's not going to jump and hit the punter, and we give him that opportunity. So Christian Morgan is just a natural, and BJ got in there this past week, and he's competitive, and he found a way to block. So we don't really overly scheme it. We just have a mentality of, hey, let's go get it. And on the PAT field goal, I think it's just a mindset of we do it live on Tuesdays against each other. A lot of people don't want to do that, but it's sort of who we are. We always tell our guys, when you go up against a PAT, they just scored a touchdown against you. You're frustrated, but are you going to play the next snap? And if you ever watch our PAT field goal team, they never look back to see if the ball went through or not. They walk right off the field. Just kind of symbolically, it's a thing Coach Snow and those guys have done for years, saying it doesn't matter if the ball went through the upright or not. It matters about our effort. So, I think that's always been players too. So it was Greg was blocking a bunch, then Bravion got in the mix, and now BJ. So, great players make great plays on defense, and that translates over to special teams. And so those blocks I think they're kind of becoming part of who we are. We'd like to lead the Big 12. That was one of our goals, lead the Big 12 in blocks, and hopefully we can find a way maybe to get one this week.
Matt, you have what you have in the offensive line. Is there any keys, or what does that group have to do to be better this week?
Well, I think we have to not I think we have to not have the penalties so that we're in 1st and 27 and second. You know, we've been pretty good when we've been in 3rd and 5 or less. Now you're getting 3rd and 7, 8, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10. You either have to just forfeit the down or drop back and throw it. And you know, we knew going in TCU was going to, you know, that's what they do. They rush the passer pretty well. But, you know, I made the statement on Saturday that we knew that was going to be a battle, and that statement kind of took on a life. We got a bunch of guys fighting, scratching and clawing. You know, we just have to help them out. You know, on the left side we have a true freshman over there. Some of the sacks they blitzed us, and you know, maybe the back misses the protection, maybe the quarterback misses the hot. So it's not any one thing. When it's any one thing, you can really sort of correct it. It's, you know, it's just a little bit here, a little bit there, and that's the difference between winning and losing. And that's not, you know, me saying, hey, it's not a big deal. I mean, those things are all big deals, but you just have to keep making steps. And so I think the offensive line, you know, we'll have to try to limit maybe what we do this week and be a little bit simpler, especially in a short week when guys are going to go home for Thanksgiving and come back, and hope that, you know, they can maybe play faster versus this is as active a defensive front as there is. And they're going to, you know, the 3-4 teams have been a little bit of a challenge for us this year, and they, you know, they're a 3-4 and they do it well. So we'll have to maybe limit what we do and try to keep it a little simpler so our guys can maybe play faster.
Matt, you've had a lot of injuries at cornerback. How big a plus has Derek Thomas been as a grad transfer?
Well, yeah. I mean, Derek, I think his competitiveness, his size, you know, he's helped us match up with some of the bigger receivers in the league. And then, you know, losing Grayland and then losing Harrison for an extended amount of time, having DT there enabled us to kind of get Kalen over the hump because he, as I said, he didn't come here to play corner. And then Raleigh, I think Raleigh's been a big addition for us the way he stepped up. But you know, I've had known Derek for a long time. We recruited him out of high school to Temple, and he's got all the physical gifts. And I think this year's been a good year for him in terms of learning how to, you know, just be consistent, bounce back week in and week out. And the last 2 weeks we've held the other team from having a ton of explosives, and a lot of that's been Derek. There's been really no deep balls in the last 2 weeks.
This is really, I mean, just the second game you coached in this series in this stadium. What are your thoughts as this is kind of the last one for a couple of years, moving this game back to campus?
Yeah, I like it. I think it's fun to have a neutral site game. You know, I think it's fun to have something different. You know, I'm sure our players, you know, a lot of them are Cowboys fans. I'm sure they enjoy going and playing in the stadium, and you know, it's just, I think anything that celebrates college football brings attention to it is good. And so I'm a traditionalist. I like playing at home and going on the road, but I think it was fun for me last year in terms of the experience. I would have liked to have played better, and hopefully we can end out. I don't know if we're going to do it again or not. I don't know the future, but hopefully we can end out this series with a win.
Back to BJ for a second. Did y'all recognize his blocking potential when he won that dunk contest?
Yeah, probably should have. That's well said. Yeah, you know, it's funny. He hasn't really blocked any yet so far this year because on PAT field goal he's just not real big. So, you know, but you know, when you block one, it's kind of one of those things where you start to get a feel for it. You know, and once you block one, you want to block them all. And I was happy to see him get two. But yeah, he's a tremendous athlete, explosive. He could probably play receiver for us. And you know, he's playing at about 224 right now. So I'll look forward to maybe getting him to about 235, 240. Because to me, I think he could be a real difference maker on our team as we move forward in the coming years.
Any chance of getting Hasty back?
Yeah, you know, Hasty was medically available on Saturday, which meant, you know, he hurt his knee in the Iowa State game, so he technically could have played if we needed him, but wasn't 100%. And so we're never going to, you know, put a guy out there until they feel good. So we'll see how he goes this week. But you know, he moved around more and more as the week went on, and you know, we lost Chris Miller in the middle of that game too, got leg whipped, and so. Chris Miller, JaMichael, we'll see what they add. And I thought Ebner and Lovett did a great job for us, you know, in Hasty's absence. I think JaMichael brings a certain edge to our team and our offense and our sideline that we like and that we need.
Do you see Squirrel Williams getting any time this week?
No, I think Squirrels probably won't play again this year, and he'll start up his year next year. So.
Man, there are 4 teams now that are fighting to be bowl eligible. Does that surprise you anyhow, the quality there is there, or the You know, they're right on the verge.
Yeah, I think it speaks to the parity in the league. There's a couple teams, great teams playing on Saturday, and there's a bunch of other, really good teams that are, even like Oklahoma State. I think they're 6-5. So they're fighting to not be, so there could be a bunch of 6-6 teams, and so I think it's the parity in the league. I think it's also when you play every team every year and you play only 3 non-conference games, you're going to see less 7-4 teams and more 6-6 teams because you're kind of all playing each other. So some of the leagues like us in the Big Ten do that. SEC, and I'm not sure about ACC. I think they play 4 non-conference games, so it's a little bit of a difference. But as we've gone through the year, Oklahoma, West Virginia, they gave us a ton of fits. But the other teams, they also have seen about the same. We all have close to the same talent level, and so it doesn't surprise me that as you come down the stretch. And I think it speaks a lot of credit to some of the teams that are out there, like Kansas State. It just tells you what a great coach Bill Snyder is, that he's now has them in position where everyone thought there was no chance. He has them in position to go fight to be bowl eligible, and Gary Patterson. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say this. Watching Kansas play on Saturday, they're scoring. They ran for 380 yards and scoring 40 points against Oklahoma. What a coach David Beatty is, that his players are still fighting for him, even though he's already knows he's been let go. So I just think there's great coaches and great players in the league, and on any Saturday, anybody can beat anybody. That Oklahoma State win for us over the last 2 weeks has looked pretty impressive, in terms of who they've beaten. So hopefully we play our best game on Saturday. We could be one of the 6-win teams.
Matt, your what's next philosophy, does that maybe, or you hope, keep them from getting too stressed about the whole everything's on the line, you're playing for a bowl, or do you want them to feel that?
Well, I want them to feel it's like anything in life. Like, what one person calls excitement, the other person calls pressure. It's just all of this is just tremendous opportunities, right? And so this is the most important game of the year because it's the next game, and so at the end of the year, if we win this game on Saturday, this win will mean nothing more towards going to a bowl than did Abilene Christian. And if we ended up losing this game, it would mean this loss would be no different than the Duke loss. So just what's next means, man, we can't sit around and reminisce back to yesterday or be sad about what happened on Saturday. It happened. Move on, and let's get ready for this Saturday. We have one more great opportunity, because here's the thing: if we don't handle what's next, then there is no what's next. What's next is next year in the first game of next season. So, I want them to be excited about the opportunity, and I want them to recognize that they played that last game. We went into the last game last season at TCU, knowing that it was just for pride and hoping we could win one more game for our seniors. We're going now to go fight for bowl eligibility and for one more game. And as Mr. Campbell said, there's a lot of other proud programs that are doing the same thing. Whether it's Texas Tech or TCU or Kansas State. So let's go try to come out on the winning side of it and see if we can play one more game in a bowl.